I call to order this regular meeting of the Show Low Planning and Zoning Commission for Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. Roll call shows that we have a full slate up here tonight. All 7 of us are here. Next, we will have the invocation given by Commissioner Adams, followed by the pledge by Commissioner Roberts. If you'd like to join us, please stand.
Our Father in heaven, we're thankful for the opportunity we have to gather here on this day and be able to discuss the business of the city and its citizens. And we're very, very grateful for the opportunity we have to serve. And we ask that that would bless us with thy spirit and help us do the things that would be beneficial to our citizens and help our community grow. We ask that that would watch over and protect our first responders, keep them safe and out of harm's way. We also ask for a special blessing over our teachers, that they might be inspired and that they might have the things that they need to succeed and to help our students learn. We're very grateful for the opportunity we have to live in this wonderful community, and we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The next item on the agenda is new business. Item A under new business is consideration of conditional use permit 602-04-267 submitted by Boomer Construction, Inc. to allow for single-family homes in the neighborhood commercial C1 zone on property located at 40 West Ellsworth, 280 North Central Ave, and 300 North Central Ave, more particularly described as APN 210-11-030C, 032, and 033. And I will turn it over to Director Tergaskis for the summary report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Adam Brewer of Boomer Construction, Inc. has submitted a conditional use permit to allow for the construction of residential single-family homes on APN 11030C, 032, and 033. Subject properties are zoned C1 or neighborhood commercial. Single-family homes in the C1 zone require a conditional use permit and are subject to the R110 single-family residential manufactured homes excluded 10,000 zoning district standards. The applicant is proposing to construct a total of 4 homes on the subject properties. If approved, the lot lines of the three subject properties will be realigned to create a total of 4 lots. As required by the R110 zoning district, each home will be site-built with a 10,000 square foot minimum lot size. Minimum livable area is 1,200 square feet in this zoning district. 2 of the proposed lots will front directly onto Central Avenue. The other 2 lots will have access from West Ellsworth. There had previously been 3 single-wide mobile homes and a site-built home on the property, which have now been removed. Findings of fact are as follows. The subject properties are currently vacant. 1 home and 3 single-wide manufactured/mobile homes were previously located on the subject property but have been removed. Regional drainage does run through the northern portion of the subject properties. The zoning of the surrounding properties includes the north and south C1 or neighborhood commercial, to the east C2 general commercial, and to the west MH or manufactured housing. Land uses of the surrounding properties include to the north single-family residential, to the south the manufactured home park, to the east the VFW and commercial, and to the west single-family residential. Transmittal memos were sent to all affected agencies and no applicable comments were received. In accordance with City Code, the property was posted and letters were sent to all property owners within 300 feet of the subject property. No comments have been received. After reviewing the zoning ordinance, standards for review, findings of fact, discussions with the applicant, and because the request is consistent with the City of Show Low general plan, staff recommends that the Planning and Zoning Commission approve conditional use permit 60204-267 submitted by Adam Brewer of Boomer Construction, Inc. to allow for the construction of residential single-family homes on APN 21011-030C, 032, and 033, subject to the following conditions. Number one, all development shall comply with all applicable federal, state, and local requirements, including the R110 zoning district standards. And number two, drainage improvements shall be approved by the city engineer prior to issuance of a building permit affecting existing drainage. With that, staff as well as the applicant are available for questions.
Thank you, Director. Open up the commission for questions for staff.
I have one question.
Commissioner Roberts.
Recognizing that staff has already reviewed and approved these plans, are there any potential negatives with it being fronting on, there was previously residential properties on Central there. Will this impact that in a positive or negative way, or the same as it was before?
So essentially, it's going to be a similar impact. It'll actually be a little bit less. Previously, there were 3 manufactured homes that accessed directly onto Central, with another home that was down kind of on the southern portion that had access onto Ellsworth. With the proposed layout, they're going to have 2 homes that would access directly onto Central rather than the 3 single-wide mobile manufactured. And then down on the corner of Central and Ellsworth, they'll have 2 homes there, both of which will be able to access directly onto Ellsworth. So this will actually be a reduction of the number of homes that accessed onto Central Avenue by 1. It'll be an increase by 1 of the homes that will access onto Ellsworth.
You actually have a question.
Commissioner Wilson.
Is this the same group of people who did the manufactured homes going around the corner too?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Any other questions? I do have one. Justin, can you, Director Tregaskis, do you have an idea of what the square footage of the proposed lots are? Just average, like, is 4 the maximum number that they can get there with a 10,000 foot minimum?
So the lots that they are proposing, for example, you can see here the dimensions are 134 by 98. That comes out to just over 10,000.
Okay.
I think it's close to 11. So there's not enough room for them to, say, pare down some of the lots a little bit smaller in order to get a 5th lot.
That's all I had. I will now open it up to questions for the applicant, if there are any.
I don't have a question, I have a comment.
Commissioner Wilson.
Are you the applicant? Thank you. I have driven by those eyesores for I don't know how long. And it is so nice to see that it's being fixed up, and the homes that you've already put in are very nice. And so I'm just happy to see that being fixed up.
Any other questions or comments for the applicant? All right, I will open up to members of the public. If there's anyone from the public who'd like to make a comment on this agenda item, you may do so at this time. All right, seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission for any further discussion or a motion. Commissioner Roberts.
I move to approve conditional use permit 602-04267 submitted by Boomer Construction to allow for single-family homes in the C1 Neighborhood Commercial Zoning District on APN 21011-030C, 032, and 033, subject to staff recommendations.
I have a motion. I have a second by Commissioner Wilson. All those in favor say aye. Aye. And that passes unanimously.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. As indicated in city code, there is a 7-day appeal period. If no appeal is received by the city clerk within these 7 days, this conditional use permit will be effective.
Thank you, Director. That closes out item A under new business. We move on to item B under new business, consideration of a preliminary plat for Entrada, a 40-lot subdivision submitted by Gary Stapley of Daisia Equities and Fidelity Limited, located on APN 309-27014E, 015B, and 999C. And again, I will turn it over to Director Tregaskis for the staff summary report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. At this point, we do not have a representative of the applicant that is at the meeting. Per city code, an applicant is required to be here in order for the commission to take action. So we will need to move this to a future agenda item. Kind of the commission pleasure as to how you would like to proceed during this meeting. We can go through the staff report, present the background information. Present that to the commission, or we can just wait until the meeting where the applicant is present to have that presented. Typically, in this situation, we at least do open it up for public comment. If there is somebody here that made a special trip, that they are able to have their questions, comments, concerns heard at this time, rather than necessarily having to make a special trip.
Thank you, Director. I will open it up to anyone from the public who'd like to speak on this agenda item. You can come forward and do so at this time. If anybody came out for it. Seeing no one, I think we should, do we table the motion or table the agenda item? How does that? If we go through the staff summary report, we would also have to go through it again next meeting.
That is correct.
Okay, then let's just move it to the next meeting.
Yeah, I would recommend that it be tabled until this time, as we can reschedule it. If you continue it, you typically have to do it to a specific date. We need to get with the applicant and verify what dates will work and that sort of thing. We expected them to be here this evening. Hope everything's okay, and it's just a situation of they forgot as opposed to something more serious, so.
Right, do I have a motion to table this agenda item? Commissioner Roberts.
If we table it, do we have to move it to a specific date?
Not if you table it, no.
Move to table this motion.
I have a motion to table by Commissioner Roberts. Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Adams. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously.
Thank you, Chair. So we will contact the applicant, see what meeting works best for them. We'll also be contacting the commission. We do have spring break coming up. We want to make sure that we have enough commission members to hear it if we do schedule it, so.
Thank you, Director. We'll move on to item number 6 on the agenda, call to the public. If there's anyone wishing to speak on a matter that's within the jurisdiction of the Planning and Zoning Commission that's not on the agenda this evening, you may do so at this time. Seeing no one, we'll move on to summary of current events, and we'll begin with Commissioner Hatch.
Great day, inshallah. Moving on.
I just want to give a shout out to the city employees that have been involved with the snow removal efforts with the recent storms that we've had. I know it's not an easy job. I know a lot of people like to complain about it, but I think they've done a pretty good job keeping up with it. And yeah, so thank you.
I got nothing. Just wanted to thank everyone for welcoming me back. It's good to be here. Excited to be back on the commission. I did want to recognize staff for the daddy-daughter dance. I was able to attend that over the weekend. I'm going to speculate it was Parks and Rec, and if it's not, I'm sure I'll be corrected. But they did a great job per usual, and it's a great part of our community, and I very much enjoyed it, and so did my daughter. So thank you to all those involved.
I just want to give a really quick little bit of information. The stop sign is down at 4th and Cooley. And even coming here tonight, I saw somebody just blow right through the intersection. And so I just want to warn people, if they don't know, the stop sign is down. It is still a 4-way. And there is actually a little sign with the stop sign on there, sitting down a little lower. But just remind people, because I don't want anybody to get hurt.
want to reiterate all the comments that have been made and give an additional shout out to Public Works. They always do a great job for us. We're very fortunate to be blessed with a great roster of personnel in the city, and we're fortunate to have them, and I'm hopeful that we can continue to retain them.
Awesome, and I'll just add, don't forget that Valentine's Day is tomorrow. I'll turn it over to Director Tergasius.
The reminder. For those of you who've been following the meetings, you may notice I'm wearing something a little different than I normally do. In 25 years, almost 25 years of doing these meetings, this is the first time I haven't worn a collared shirt. Like to show support for our local high school basketball teams, the Show Low Cougars. Show Low boys will be playing at home tomorrow evening. What better way to show your loved ones that you care than to take them to a basketball game, right? It is the first round of the playoffs. It's win or go home. So we encourage everybody to show up at the Show Low High School and support our boys basketball team. Also, for those of you who are following the girls basketball team, they received a bye for the first round of the playoffs due to their record, and they have a home game this Friday. So if you didn't get enough basketball on Wednesday, there's a chance for a repeat on Friday with the girls basketball team. So invite everybody out to support those teams in their state championship hopes and aspirations.
When's that tip off?
I believe it's at 7 o'clock, but I'd have you check with the school and the AIA. Things change sometimes, and I'd hate for you to miss the first half of the game because some guy from the city told you 7. So
The last game that they had last week, was told 7, and it's actually started at 6, and the girls were in front of that. So they had started earlier, so by the time 7 o'clock rolled around, it was all over. But
Thank you, Director. Seeing no other items on the agenda, I will adjourn us for this evening.